Have you ever wondered what it would feel like to hold your tongue to say nothing in the face of the world's noise? What if I told you that the most powerful thing you could say is nothing at all? In a world where we're constantly speaking, shouting, and sharing our opinions, silence is often seen as weakness, indifference, or ignorance. But what if the opposite is true? What if silence is the greatest strength you can cultivate? A tool that gives you control over your mind, your emotions, and even your destiny. Let's explore the art of silence, not as a void, but as a profound, deliberate practice, a key to mastering yourself and discovering the true power within. First, let's address silence itself. It's not the absence of sound. It's not the same as isolation or simply retreating into yourself. Silence is deliberate. It's a choice to refrain from speaking, but also from reacting. It's an active decision to observe, listen, and think, rather than hastily jumping into the noise. The Stoics believed that words should not be wasted. They knew the power of words, but they also knew their potential for harm. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, writes in his Meditations that the most important task in life is not to take everything personally. What happens to you is not always a reflection of your character. This idea speaks to silence not just as a physical act, but as a mental discipline. Consider this: when we are silent, we are given the opportunity to master ourselves. In moments of chaos or conflict, silence allows us the space to pause, reflect, and decide our next action. In a heated debate, a bitter argument, or an emotional storm, silence is not cowardice, it is control. It is the embodiment of Stoic wisdom, the wisdom to act, but only when it is wise to do so. Epictetus, one of the most prominent Stoic philosophers, teaches us that we should not waste our energy reacting to external things. Instead, we should focus on controlling our thoughts, emotions, and responses. Silence is the ultimate reflection of this discipline. When you choose to remain silent, you're choosing to control the moment. You're deciding that the world does not dictate your emotions. Instead, you, and only you, control what rises within you. Take a moment to think about how much noise surrounds us. Social media, news, advertisements, conversations. We are constantly bombarded with external chatter. But this noise does not belong to us. It is the noise of others, their opinions, their judgments. The Stoics understood that this cacophony can overwhelm our minds if we let it. Seneca, another Stoic thinker, cautioned against the flood of distractions, which he saw as a constant threat to our peace of mind. In the pursuit of wisdom, he stressed the importance of avoiding unnecessary chatter. Imagine if we could simply ignore the noise, not through avoidance or ignorance, but through intentional silence. By quieting the voices of others, we hear ourselves more clearly. We listen to our own thoughts, our instincts, and our wisdom. Silence does not separate us from the world, but connects us to something deeper within. Silence isn't just about not talking, it's also about listening. In fact, silence is the foundation of true listening. In a conversation, how often do we listen with the intent to respond, rather than the intent to understand? When we're always thinking of the next thing to say, we aren't really listening at all. A Stoic would argue that we should listen deeply. When we listen, we open ourselves to understanding others, to learning something new, and to growing. True wisdom comes not from speaking, but from hearing. Silence allows us to truly hear, not just the words, but the emotions, the intentions, and the meanings behind those words. Now let's talk about silence in practice. How do we cultivate this powerful silence in our everyday lives? The first step is intentionality. Silence is not just a pause between words. It is a conscious choice to step back and observe. You can start by practicing silence in moments of stress. In times when your emotions surge, hold your tongue. In the face of anger or frustration, stop yourself. Observe your emotions and let them pass without giving them voice. Another powerful practice is silent reflection. After a challenging day, take some time to sit quietly, without distractions. Let your mind wander, but remain still. This practice builds self-awareness and helps you reflect on your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. And finally, silence in speech. When you do speak, choose your words carefully. Speak when it's necessary, speak with purpose, and speak with clarity. By practicing silence, you ensure that when you do speak, your words are powerful, intentional, and meaningful. At its deepest level, silence brings us peace. It creates a sanctuary within us, a refuge from the chaos of the world. As we grow in silence, we become less dependent on external validation and more grounded in our own thoughts and beliefs. In this peace, we find freedom. We no longer need to chase after the fleeting approval of others. Instead, we rely on our inner strength and wisdom. In silence, we create space for calm, for clarity, and for the wisdom to act from a place of strength rather than reaction. It is a profound freedom, one that not only improves our lives, but our relationships and our contributions to the world. So, in this noisy world, the Stoics offer us an antidote: silence. But it's not silence in the conventional sense. It's the silence of mastery, the silence of control, the silence that comes from a place of inner strength. Next time you're tempted to speak without thought, to engage in mindless chatter, remember the Stoic wisdom. Silence is not just the absence of sound. It is the presence of control. It is the art of choosing when to speak, when to listen, and when to remain still. In a world full of noise, silence is the greatest power we can hold. Let us choose it wisely. If this video resonates with you, if you found the power of silence in your own life, leave a comment below. Share how you found stillness amidst the noise, and let's continue this journey of self-mastery together. And don't forget to subscribe for more reflections on living a life of purpose and wisdom. Thanks for watching.